Before I answer anything else, I want to apologize to the guy. Some guy running off the field, and he ran, jumped in front of me. We coming off the field, and I bumped into him and kind of pushed him, and then he ended up on the ground. So I want to say sorry to him for that, because that was just frustration mixed with him running and literally just running in front of me, and that was shouldn't have responded that way. But that's how I initially responded. So I want to apologize to him for that.
It only took 6 weeks before the Las Vegas Raiders turned wide receiver Davante Adams into a full-blown criminal. Vegas, what happens here is probably at the very least a misdemeanor. If a 1-4 record wasn't bad enough, now the Raiders may have to deal with a suspension of their best player. Well, second best if you don't count this guy.
There's no foul in play for a block in the back. Timeout.
After a horrific loss to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, we all saw a very upset Davante Adams push this photographer to the ground as he exited the field. Since then, that man has filed charges against Adams, and now Adams has been officially charged with misdemeanor assault for the push seen around the world. Today, I will break down what that means for Adams, the Raiders, and all of humanity moving forward. And this is just the second time this season charges have been filed against a player for assault that took place on the field. I will discuss Bobby Wagner as well, tie that all in, and I'm not sure either of those charges are justified. Whew. That's good sports. Hey, if you want to protect yourself from any sort of misdemeanor charges being filed against you, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for new patrons. Michael Winkler, Ho You Fat for 3.
Ho You Fat with a 3.
Randy Gunk, M, and Brandon Gonzalez. Patreon.com/thatsgoodsports or the YouTube memberships. That's how you support this channel. Every month, all $10 members, we do a Zoom hangout where we all just get together digitally, drink some drinks, and bullshit. So if you're into it, try it. All right, Raiders. Okay, Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams was charged this morning in the municipal court of Kansas City with misdemeanor assault. He has also been banned from the famous Kansas City amusement park, Worlds of Fun. You had to live in Kansas or Missouri to really appreciate that one. Now, even before these charges became official, Adams was likely facing a fine from the NFL and a minimum 1-game suspension. Pushing a civilian is a really bad look. And if Mike Evans got suspended a full game for pushing another player in full pads, I think the precedent has been established, and I won't be surprised if it's like 2 games for Adams. Now, misdemeanor charges are really like the speeding tickets for life disputes. You hear charges filed, and it's like, oh man, oh no, that sounds bad. Well, the caveat here that might make that true, Missouri and their assault laws are pretty tough. I think this will be listed as assault in the 4th degree, 1 degree for every Raiders loss this season. A police officer noted, though, that charges would have been more severe had the Chiefs lost. In Missouri, a 4th degree misdemeanor assault charge carries a $1,000 fine and or up to a year in jail. Adams will not do jail time for this, although I wouldn't be surprised if a chief-loving judge tries. Now, Adams is very, very lucky that this was not a 3rd-degree assault charge, because not only would serious jail time be a factor, Adams would then be eligible to be defrauded by Brett Favre. When I heard Davante Adams and assault charges, I initially thought Adams filed charges against Hunter Renfrow for this assault on the field, with Adams seeking punitive damages, costing the Raiders the game. Now, the photographer that Adams pushed has filed these charges with the claim that he suffered bodily injury, including whiplash, headache, and a possible concussion. Now, Adams' representatives said they looked at it and they determined he had a back injury. Personally, though, I think the photographer should have to go through the NFL concussion protocol and clear that before being allowed to file charges. I wonder if an independent spotter was watching to see any lack of gross motor function, though. After being released from his job Monday night, the person pushed was taken to a local hospital. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. What happened was egregiously unsportsmanlike and an act of violence that should not be excused by the NFL, said Dan Curry, the lawyer representing the cameraman. Non-life-threatening injuries. I would hope so. If this threatens your life, you're probably 96 years old and ready to die anyway. That said, if these injuries are real, okay, and as serious as they claim, I fully support this man and his charges against Adams. In no way do I support one person assaulting another person without due process. I shouldn't have to say that, but if I don't, someone in the comments will say I support NFL players hurting people. And if the photographer is indeed a Chiefs fan, I sorta respect him taking his fandom to the next level and doing everything he can to dick over an opposing rival's team. That's a next level troll, honestly. I think the problem though is that too many people feel like this is a money grab. If you see the way this dude falls, it doesn't look like he suffers whiplash or a concussion. This would be like if Derek Carr filed charges against Chris Jones for the roughing the passer call from the game. However, this gets complicated because there's no conclusive evidence to show that his head or neck didn't hit the ground or get J.K. Simmons whiplashed. If the NFL officials had to review this play, ruling on the field would stand. The real question is whiplash a real injury here, or was it made up by an ambulance-chasing lawyer? We won't know. And I do think past behavior should be factored in here. This is not Davante Adams' first offense. He's done this before. Okay, but seriously, do you remember how Davante handled that situation when that was clearly an accident?
Mark Hoffman, I apologize sincerely for hitting you in the face with the ball. Honestly, I black out, I get in the end zone, didn't even celebrate, so you can see I was pretty intense at that moment. Threw it back. I honestly didn't even see anybody in front of me. I'm looking at the fans interacting. So, Mark, sorry about that, man.
He got a really good laugh out of it.
Did he?
So.
No damage done to the face, right? No plastics. Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't know if we needed any, because Clay got pretty jacked up. I've seen what it can look like when you get hit in the face. So, sorry about that, Mark.
And also, I opened this video with a screenshot of Davante Adams earning some sort of good guy award for the Packers, so I think it should be noted that Davante Adams has shown time and time again he's a nice guy. This is not Antonio Brown doing this. It's a good dude, and I think that should factor in to how this all plays out. After all, Davante Adams has given us all the best life advice to follow in general.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all. That's what I tell everybody. Those are two things you gotta make sure you keep those clean. We'll be all right.
In no world should Adams have done this or reacted this way, but he apologized immediately in the locker room.
Before I answer anything else, I want to apologize to the guy. Some guy running off the field, and he ran, jumped in front of me. We coming off the field, and I bumped into him and kind of pushed him, and then he ended up on the ground. So I want to say sorry to him for that, because that was just frustration mixed with him running and literally just running in front of me, and that was shouldn't have responded that way. But that's how I initially responded. So I want to apologize to him for that.
And that should be enough in this situation outside of the NFL discipline. Even though Adams suffered a massive brain fart, Adams appears surprised that the guy ran in front of him and seems like he just sort of reacts here. If I'm Adams, I actually claim self-defense. Now, this is also why there's a mandatory cool-down period between the game and the media availability. These guys are charged up from playing a collision sport, and it's hard to turn that off right away. Now, this comes just a week after charges were filed against Bobby Wagner, who tackled this fan who ran onto the field during the Rams game. Alexander Taylor, the man running onto the field here with the pink smoke, suffered a concussion and a burn to his inner right bicep due to the Wagner hit. Lie. Dudes who do this for a cause and not because they're too drunk do not have biceps. New rule, if you are doing something illegal, you do not get to intern file charges if something bad happens to you in the process. Are we losing our fucking minds? Oh yeah, we lost them a long time ago, didn't we? Even though the injuries were more serious, the charges against Wagner are more egregious than the ones from the Adams situation. At least that guy didn't ask for it. If you're a judge looking at this Bobby Wagner charge, the first thing you throw out are the charges related to the burn. The dude suffered a burn from a smoke tube he used to draw attention to himself while illegally running onto an NFL football field. That's your fault, buddy. You give a bad name to gender reveal products everywhere, by the way. Now, concussion? That's serious, and it's not Wagner's job to help on-field security. I sort of understand that, so I will rule in favor of the pink tube man, and Bobby Wagner will be fined $1,000. But that money has to go to whatever charity that guy was promoting during the dumb little stunt. But you, sir, you will receive no financial retribution. And you are banned from attending any NFL game ever again. I don't care how desperate they are to fill seats in Los Angeles, you can't go. And if you ever have kids, you're banned from knowing the gender ahead of time. You'll have to paint the baby's room a gender-neutral color. And Bobby, if you do this ever again, I will personally trade you to the Carolina Panthers, where you will have to serve as linebacker and head coach. See? I fully support punishment fitting the crime. We need more creativity in the legal system. In the case of the photographer versus Adams, which just makes me think of photographer Ansel Adams. Anyway, you have to spend 1 week in Davante Adams' house. And at some point, when Davante least expects it, you get to shove him to the ground. And Davante, you have to retire as a Raider. Even Stevens. As a society, though, I think we are far, far too deep, too gone into our collective descent into madness. We all need to be better. Guys like Davante can't lose their cool and push someone for no reason. People who do dumb shit and run onto a field or a court and protest can't in turn waste time in the legal system by filing charges. NFL fans need to stop acting like complete assholes every single week. Even in this Raiders-Chiefs game, these are Chiefs fans throwing bottles at the Raiders as they ran into the tunnel. And I know they seem like they deserve it because they're Raiders, but they really don't. Maybe we have always been this crappy, and now we just see it more because everyone has a camera on all the time. All I know is the more time I spend here on the internet, the less faith I have in all of us. So with those positive words, I'll leave you. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I dropped a Russell Wilson video earlier today, so please check that out when you get a chance. And if you got creative punishment ideas, let me know in the comments.